Hello, guys. Hope you are good. Today we are going to cover the topics like we will talk about while loop in Python, then for loop, break and continue statements, and then we will talk about range function, and especially we will see this range function in context of for that in for loop how we can use range function. Then we will talk about a little bit nested loops, and then at the end we will see algorithm. Okay, guys, are you ready for the topic? First, what is a loop? Guys, first we need to know that what is actually a loop. Very simple. Loop is a statement which allows us to execute a statement or a group of statements multiple times. Okay, so in Python, if we see there are like mainly two types of loop, like while loop and for loop. And likewise, we can use nested while, like nested loops. In nested loop, we can use while means while within while, and for loop means for within for. And you are much familiar with the word nested because if you remember that you have used nested condition statements like if else if within if, so the same concept will be here, but only the condition will be replaced by loop. Okay, guys, now first we will see that what is a while loop. A while loop is a statement repeatedly executes a target statement as long as a given condition is true. So, guys, this is actually the expression. Very simple that you use this the reserve word while, and then you need to give expression, and then here one statement or a block of statements. Okay. So, guys, before going into the sample or the example of while, I would like to just make you understand while taking a flow chart. So, for instance, this is a flow chart, and here there's a condition. So, what will happen that so this condition is being checked, and if this condition is true, then this is actually the one statement or the block of statements they will execute, and then the control of computer will go again to see that whether still condition is true or false. And in case condition is true, it this this loop or this part of this code will continue to execute. As soon as this condition became false, so the control will be going out of the block of this statement. As in this case, I have shown you that this flowchart is stopped. Okay, guys. Now we will see one example of while loop. So this is a code, and in this code, what actually we are going to do? So we are actually going to print a table of two for first 10 values. So here what we are doing, so this is used for displaying message. We are initializing a with 2, and this is the counter. So here what we are doing that while, and this is the expression, and then we are going to print, and and then this is the product. In the product, what we are doing, we are multiplying a by counter, and counter needs to display how many times, or needs to run how many times, 10 times. And here what we are actually doing, we are incrementing 1 to counter. Okay, so how this statement will execute? So initially the counter is 1, means the value of the counter is 1. So when the control of computer will come here on the expression, so it will compare the value of count with this value. So you can see initially the count value is 1, while uh, the on the right side there is a 10. So it means that 1 is less than 10. So this condition becomes true. So the control will come to here, and then they will just print this value. And this this count will be added. Now the next time the value of count will be 2, and 2 is less than 10. Still this condition is true, and this statement will be executed. This whole block will keep going until the count value becomes 11. So when 11 on this side and 10 on this side, if these two values will be compared, so the expression or this condition become false. So now this time the control will not come here, and it will come out from the segment of the statements or the block of the statements. Okay, now we will see the output of this program. So now you can see that this is the output of this program. If I go back to this, so now you can see that it started with 1 and it will end at 10. So here you can see that it is started with 1 and end with 10. So this was a very simple example. Guys, maybe you just see that why actually this example is so easy or so simple. Actually, I try to take those examples which you can understand easily, because I know I can give you very complex examples here as well. But I want that, because you are at the learning stage or at the very beginning stage, so you must learn, and you need to understand the basic concepts of while loop. That's why I normally try my best to give you simple examples. Okay. Now there is a exit statement. Oh, sorry, exit from while loop. So, guys, we know that sometimes there is a situation that we need to exit from a loop. So, to if you we want to exit from a loop, so we can use break statement. Uh, Sometimes there is a requirement of our code. Okay, now we will see here a break example. So, for instance, this is the same sample code which we have already seen in our preceding slides. So here, for instance, we want that after the counter value 5, when the counter value is 5, so the control should come out from the program. So now you can see that this block of code will execute how many times? 5 times. And when the counter value will be 5 and this condition is true, so the control will come out from the block of the code because of this break statement. So now how many product of this table will be printed? So 2 multiplied by 1, 2, until 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 10, because of this break statement. Okay, guys. Now, sometimes a situation where you not need to uh, exit from the loop, but you need to continue by to skip certain situation. For example, we will take an example that if we choose a list of numbers from 1 to 10, and we only want to print the odd numbers. Okay, so this is our objective. Now, how we will program it? So if we see the example here, So this number is a variable, and this variable we have initialized with 0. And now this number we will execute how many times? From 0 to 10. And then what we will do, we will increment to this variable. So this number will provide a role of a counter. And then what we will do, we will divide this number by 2, and then we are just want, because this is the modulus, and you guys already know that when we are using modulus, so give it will give us remainder. So what we are saying, that if the number is divided by 2 and its remainder is equal to 0, then we are not interested in printing. Then the program should continue and take on the next number. Okay. And if this condition is false, then our program need to print the current number is odd. So now in this situation, you can see that 1, 3, 5, 7 are the odd numbers. And if we will just dry run only once, for example, initial number is 0. When this number comes to here, so 0 is less than 10, condition is true, control will come here. So 1 will be added into 0. And then if number is divided by 2, so here when the number is divided by 2, so there is no remainder. So the condition is false. So it will print the first number. Okay, now I take one more number. For example, the value of next number is 1. It is obvious that 1 is less than 10. So when 1 is added into 1, so the value is 2. Now when number 2 is divided by 2, the remainder will become 0. So it needs to continue because this condition becomes true. So it needs to continue, and see there is no 2 print here. Now next time the number is, now the current value of number is 2 here, and when 1 will be added in 2, so it becomes 3. So when 3 is divided by 2, so remainder will not equal to 0. Then this condition it becomes false, so it will print 3. So likewise, it will print 1, 3, 5, 7 as odd numbers. And you see that we have used continue statement here. So guys, this continue and break we utilized based on the requirement of our program. Sometimes we use continue and sometimes we use break. I hope you understood now. Okay. Guys, you need to be careful while using the loop statements, because sometimes you don't actually, because this is sometimes you don't actually use those the counter statement, and because of counter statements, or sometimes you use incorrect condition, and because of that incorrect condition, so the loop becomes infinite and there are no chances that it will break. So you, whenever you are using the like loop, so you need to use a finite loop, not infinite loop. If you see this example, so here this is a code, sorry, this is a code. In this code you can see that you have given counter is equal to 1, so you initialize counter is equal to 1, and now what you are doing, that you are running this loop. You want to run this loop uh, almost 10 times, and now you print here count. So what happened, the control will initialize with 1. When the control will come here, so the counter value is, the count value is 1, and yes, 1 is less than 10, and then it will print count one time again. Because you didn't use actually increment here, so again count value is 1, and it keeps 1 and it keeps going. Now I will just go there in the program, and here I just write count is equal to 1, and then I say while. count is less than equal to 10, print count. And guys, here I didn't use actually increment. So when I will not use the increment, count value will remain 1, and this is the infinite loop. Now I'm going to run it. Yes, save, and see guys, it keeps running. This is actually the infinite loop. So to break it, what you need to do, you need to actually add count, or you can, this is called increment. So you need to increment the count value. Now when we will run it, so it will execute it after running 10 times. So guys, we can also give this statement like uh, both are same, for example, is equal to 1. So this statement is equivalent to the statement which we were using before. Like if you can see here, so see, so therefore I would recommend you or advise you guys that when you are using loop, so you need to be very careful, and you need to review your code so that uh, to avoid the situation where you are going to uh, actually or you forget to give some increment, and because of that there will be infinite loop. Okay, okay guys, now there is a class activity which we will perform. That, for instance, so we are going to write a loop that prompts the user to enter a series of pizza toppings. I hope everybody knows about pizzas, and maybe you like pizzas too much. So, and the topping is very familiar word. As they enter each topping, print a message saying you will add that topping to their pizza. So this is actually a problem or activity. Now what we will do, so this is actually the code, sample code for this activity. And in sample code, this is the condition we are saying that while it is true, so it needs to keep asking about the toppings, and then it needs to display a message. And if input is q, then your toppings will be added, and break. So guys, here why we use break? Yes, because what we want that actually when the user gives q, so then it should break, means come out from this code. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just copy this code from here to make you more understand. Like for instance, I just copy this code here. Now when I will run this code, so see it is asking about topping. I just say cheese. So hello topping cheese. So see, the control has become uh, out because of break statement. Okay, now I'm going to run it again. And if I write like X, so hello topping X. Okay, now we will see here that what is the purpose of here, like that we are saying X is equal to input topping and print hello topping X. Okay, so here we are saying if X is Q, print your topping will be added. So if X is equal to Q, so print X, your toppings will be added. So guys, do you understand this code? Because if I, because this statement as well as this statement is the part of the uh, this code, but this is a condition in which it is clearly told that if x value is q, then you need to give this statement. Otherwise, you need to give this statement. I run it again, and then you can see closely that, for instance, if I write here, like, for example, cheese, top, sorry, cheese, and then we will see that hello topping cheese. Okay. Now, if I run it again, and I want to give like uh, x, so hello topping x. Okay. Now, my question is that this is actually working here, but what about this? Because we didn't give q. Yes, good. Now what we will do, we'll run it again, and here we will write q, and we will see. See, hello topping q, your topping will be added. So, so this is one situation where we have used break, and for instance, in this situation, if I remove the break, so so then what will happen? Okay, so now I'm going to run it again and see, is there any usage of, see, see there is, do you think that now you can just imagine that because of break, so you will actually coming out from the program. Okay, but now what is happening here, that you are still in the program and you have to give different value, but still you are in the program. So it is not, so you will keep going, keep your program will asking again and again, again and again and again and again. But in the previous case, you have given here break statement, and it, what it was doing, that it was it allows you to just come out from the program. Hello topping cheese. Okay. And now if you run it, okay, now what I do, if I just make the block of this statement, then what will happen? Okay, I write cheese. See, so actually initially what we have done, initially our program was incorrect. Why? Because the reason is, if you see this statement, so what actually, so if you see this statement on the top, here I have given that while true. It means that when you're going to give any input from the keyboard, so it keeps printing this message. It should keep printing this message until the x value is q. And when the x value is q, q means quit, then you need to display this final message, and then you need to come out from the program. So this was actually the objective. So what, so I have done this deliberately so that to make you understand that how it why break was not functioning, because uh, the statement was here, but this break was not part of this block, means if condition. So when I just make in one more indenting, now it became the part, break became the part of this segment, and that's why you can see a different result, which is actually we want. So we want that one topping one, topping two, topping three, topping four, topping five. Now all orders have been done of this person. Now I want to move out. So hello topping queue, your toppings will be added. Okay. So this is actually the usage that how actually we can use the break statement. Okay. Now we go to lecture again. So that's why I have kept this break so that I can just tell you that actually how you will use break and at the same time what is the significance of block. Okay, now class activity 2. In this activity what we are doing that there is a like a movie theater change charges, and those are different for if the age is under 3 or 3, while between 3 and 12 the ticket cost is $10, and if his age is above 12 those ticket cost is $15. Okay, now we will see the code. So so here you can see the code. So we will what we will do again, we will copy this code, and then we will go here, and here we will copy it. Sorry, we will copy it, and then we will save it. And now, sorry, we need to go back and to copy. Sorry, guys. So what is happening here? Yes. And now we will go to development environment, and now I'm going to paste it. Okay, so guys, now I'm going to save it. So now as soon as we will run it, so it is running and I'm entering the age 3. So it is saying congratulations, your entry is free. If I give age 10, so it says your ticket cost is 10. And if I say my age is 14, it is saying 15. If I say my age is 50, so it is displaying, and then keeps going. But as soon as you enter any alphabets, so it is giving you a error message. The reason is because if you see here that you have given there is no terminating statement you have given here, just like you have given in toppings. So now what we will do, add we will add a statement where we can go to like we can exit from this. So we say that, for instance, if age is given by someone to 0, so normally we I think in some countries, no, I don't think so, age is 0. So okay, so what we just write age is equal to 0, then you need to print uh, your age is, or you can just say age is 0. So thanks a lot. That's it. Or you can just try again. and then you have to add break statement so that you can come out from this program. Okay. Now I am just yeah. So I'm running it. Now I am entering age 2. It is saying congratulations. Now I enter age 0. So see, congratulations is free. Try again. So so see here why it is giving congratulations is free. So we need to see our code. In our code, yes, if you see here that we have given less than equal to, so we have to add logical operator and here we will see if age is greater than 0. Okay, then this is the situation. Now we will when we will run this program, so now you will see that message will not come. Okay, now I enter my age, this one, and now this one, and now if I enter 0. So see guys, here now you can't actually get that your entry is free. Why? And you try again because we have actually bound our condition here that if age is less than equal to 3 and age is greater than 0, so then this message will will appear. Otherwise, if age is 0, so then you have to try again and we have used a break. I hope uh, it will help you a lot in understanding the concept of break statement. Okay. Now, guys, there's one more class activity 3. Write a loop that never ends and run it. So I hope you can write it very easily because in our previous slides we have already done it. That how actually you can create a infinite loop by mistake, and you need to avoid. Okay, guys. So we have covered while loop. We have covered break statement. We have covered continuous statement. Now we will discuss about the for loop. So for loop has the ability to iterate over the items of any sequence, such as a list or a string. If a sequence contains an expression list, it is evaluated first. Then the first item in the sequence is assigned to the iterating variable. Next, the statements block is executed. Each item in the list is assigned to iterating variable and the statement block is executed until the entire sequence is exhausted. Okay, now we will try to understand by using this flowchart. Okay, so for instance, guys, you already know it that this is actually diamond symbol and it is used when you are going to take the CN or you are going to check the condition. While rectangle we use for actions and while this rounded like circle and this round circle they are showing the start and stop of flow chart and these arrows they are actually the flow of information. Okay, so for instance here item from sequence, if no more item in sequence then it will stop, and if there is a item in the sequence, so then this part is a loop just we learned in while statement. Okay, now see this is example. So what I did that I have so this is actually the syntax for iterating variable in sequence, colon and then statement. So here what I did for letter in University of People, so print University of People letter. So if you see when we will run this code, so this is actually the code, so this output you will see and see it is actually taking one by one every letter and displaying it. Guys, sometime we also use for loop in combination with function range. Sorry, guys, it is this is actually range. So it is range. Okay. So range, then min value and max value. The actual you need to know that min value means that from any value which you will give here, it will add one in that. But for maximum value, it will give you max minus one, max value minus one. For instance, if you say that range 1 comma 6, so it will give you the values from 1 to 5. So that's why I have written a min value plus 1 until mixed value minus 1. Okay. So for example, this is our code for I in range 1 to 11. So what it will do, it will print you the numbers from 1 to 10 because 11 minus 1 is equal to 10. Okay, guys. As I told you, nested loop. So if you remember when we were discussing about conditional statements, so over there we have used nested conditional or nested if else if condition within condition. So here loop within loop. So for instance, for iterating a variable in sequence, then for iterating. So this is actually the inner loop and this is the outer loop. So only one thing you need to know that in these cases, the inner loop most exhausts first and then outermost loop. And then inner loop, outermost loop. So first this loop will exhaust and then this loop will exhaust. And the same case with while that for example while expression statement. So first this because this is the innermost statement, while statement. So first this statement will or first this loop will be exhausted and then this loop will exhaust. Okay. Now what we will do, we will write a simple program in which we will show a right angle triangle. Write a program to display right angle triangle as shown. So here what we will use. So we will try to to display this right angle triangle by using nested while loop. Okay. So now you can see here, this is the code. And if I just copy this code from here and then go to my development environment here, I just copy and paste. And now you can see here that nested while loop is utilized. So now you need to understand this aspect. First, I will run it and then I will explain. So see, so if you see here, first time there was one, then two, then three, then four, then five, then six, and so on and so forth. So if I go back to my code, so here we need to see that as I told you, that innermost loop exhausts first and then outermost loop. Okay. So if we see here, the first time the value of I is 0. So 0 is less than 20. Condition is true. Okay. And then the control will come here. So J is 0 and J is uh, less than equal to I. So J is 0, I is 0. So what will happen? This condition is false. Okay. And now J plus is equal to 1. So J value become 1 and I value become 1. The control will go again here. Now 1 is less than 20. Condition is true. Control will come here. Now I is 1. J is 1. So it means that this static will print once. And then so this is actually this is the counter. So this is the counter which will hold all the static of this uh, innermost loop, and then it will print once. So now if I just run it again, and now you will just see. So now see two values. So this is the innermost loop. Then innermost loop three values, then four values, then five values, then six values. So see, all this innermost loop will print or will contain all the static of the innermost loop. So this is a way that how actually we can use uh, the nested loops. Okay, guys. Now we'll go back to our lecture slide and see. Okay, so okay, guys. This is the last topic of today's lecture: algorithm. So, a very simple definition of algorithm is that algorithm keeps number of steps to complete a task. Very simple definition. So now what we will do, we will see an example in which we will find out the biggest value out of two given values. For instance, if you see here, uh, algorithm normally start and stop, just like in flowchart. We also use symbology to start our flowchart and to stop our flowchart. Okay, now it will step one. It means that, and one thing more, that algorithm, normally we don't use a specific language for algorithm, and but still we need to use those statements which are close to computer language, computer programming languages. But we are not going to use specific language. For example, you can see that there are many high level languages like Java, C, C sharp, C++, Python. So normally we don't, but if you know that in which tool you are going to implement your algorithm, so then if you, for example, if you are going to use or implement your algorithm in Python, so then there is no issue if you are going to use the Python keywords. But then there is a question that why there is a need to construct an algorithm. So very simple answer, that we actually want to clear that what actually we are going to do. So algorithms, they are easily developed by the programmers, and programmers develop it for their more for to clear their understanding, and then it becomes easy to transform into coding. Okay, so now in this case what we are doing, that we are taking input of two values, and then we are saying the condition that if x value is greater than, okay, sorry guys, here I have again there is a mistake, because here x and y are capital. So what I do, I just go back and make it small, so that there, or make it big, and I make these two as a capital letters. Okay, and now it is x and y already there. Okay, so now we save it and we come again here. Okay, guys, so what we are doing, we are taking two variables, x and y. So here, if x is greater than y, then x assigned to the maximum variable, else y assigned to maximum, and then we are going to print max and stop. So this algorithm can easily be implemented in Python. Now what we will do, we will go to Python, and we say that input, so input variable, so we are going to take the values. So what we were doing, actually we were asking the two values. Okay, so for two values, what I want, while uh, So instead of asking, so I just give the values here. For example, I say x is equal to 10 and y is equal to, for instance, 20. So later we can also use the like input statement in which we can ask the values from the keyboard. Okay. So I say x is equal to 10, y is equal to 20. And if I say, so I write if x is greater than y, then print what print. So so here I can also use max is equal to, so max is maybe is a reserved word, so I can use max value is equal to x, and else max value is equal to y, and then I say print max value. Okay. So what I'm saying, that saying if this one, and then I will say this, and then okay, I just run it and see how it goes. Oh, oops. So error. Oh, very bad. Okay, I think I need to put colons, and then I need to see, yes, it is fine. Okay, save it and run it again. See, so 20 is the biggest value. Okay, now what we do, we convert it, and we now take values from the keyboard. So we will write input and then enter value for x, and likewise we are asking y, so we are saying input enter value for y. And one thing more you need to do, because as I told you that input will give you the value in string, so that's why we need to convert into integer. Yes, guys. Okay. Now, now we will run it and see. Okay, guys, I give 23 and 45, and see, the biggest value is 45. Okay, guys. So now we will go again to the lecture and see. So we have finished today lecture. I hope, guys, so these are the references. I hope, guys, you have enjoyed this lecture. And if you want to ask any question regarding the lecture, so comments, so you can write in the comment section or comment box, so that I can reply you. And the other thing which I want to request you guys, that still a few guys, they didn't share my channel. As I told you, the importance of the sharing. So if you didn't share yet, so I would request you again that share my channel. Thank you very much for listening me. Bye bye and see you next time.